Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and for children with bad parents. Adult language will be used, and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Ethan.
And this week we're going to talk about baby gods.
Yeah.
Half gods.
Half gods.
Demigods.
In this show, they look like fucking babies. And maybe that's
yeah,
because I'm getting older.
It
and
is.
now everybody looks like babies.
Just a consequence of getting older. Like, they look so tiny and young.
Yeah, but and then it's weird because, like, Euphoria, I'm like, none of them look like teenagers.
Because they're not.
I know they're not, but they're playing teenagers.
Yeah, there's the difference, though.
These
are teenagers playing
yeah.
playing teenagers, and you have 20-somethings playing teenagers.
Yeah.
I had thoughts in my head until you said baby gods, and now I'm just playing the, like, Muppet Babies theme in my head.
I would have probably preferred them to make this as the Muppets, and then you just leave the actual gods as the humans.
That would be hilarious.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Give me Kermit, or I guess you could do the Muppets as the gods and then have the kids, but I think it'd be better vice versa. So Jarrett made the script, so if it's shit, it's on him.
No, it's definitely shit.
Yell at him in our Discord. You can join it.
Hey, it will do nothing.
That's
He
true.
doesn't pay attention to the Discord.
No, he does. He looks at it.
What it means is I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
What's the difference?
fair enough.
There isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
First up, notable actors. Edge. He's my notable actor.
Yeah. Hey, I got a note on that on here.
That's
Yeah.
that's about it. Nothing. No one's really terrible.
No one's terrible. No one's great. Like, no one stands out.
I really like Toby Stevens, who plays Poseidon.
Yeah, he did well.
Yeah.
And obviously Lance Reddick
Well,
just has like the level of like gravitas.
class.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always like Lance Reddick. So
He's
It's
Always.
mostly the gods.
yeah. I mean,
that's who you're supposed to be impressed by anyway. So
makes sense that they would want bigger named actors that are more notable.
Mhm.
And then next up, Chiron. It's
Chiron.
Chiron. It's Chiron. As soon as I said Chiron, I was like, you said that wrong, you idiot. Chiron and Grover are supreme gaslighters.
Yeah, they just totally fucking.
Yeah.
In the very first episode, there's
There's a reason why they're heading up a school.
Percy, you fucking pushed that girl.
Why?
He's like, what? Like, you could see him break. Like, he's
Yeah.
like,
He's like,
what the fuck,
Yeah.
guys?
it's like, I was a mile away from her.
Yeah. I used the force. Come on now.
I don't know.
The water force.
Like that matches though with Chiron though, because like if you go
Yes.
back and read it, because Chiron is a gaslighting piece of shit. He's like, I'm so great and perfect at everything. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Essentially, is how he acts all the time in
Which
mythology.
isn't that how most of the gods act?
Oh, yeah.
No, not all of them.
I said most.
Maybe most.
A large majority.
A large majority. The other ones are in hell.
Yeah.
Because that's where we shove all the nice people, apparently.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Next up, this Knicks are in the 2024 NBA Finals? Question mark.
That might be the most unbelievable thing in this entire series. Suck it, Knicks fans.
But isn't it like it's set in New York?
It's set in New York.
so that's
and,
why they did it. 'Cause-
What's his name? Gabe talks about before they leave for not Nantucket. It's the other. Where the fuck? I forget. They're leaving.
I can't remember the name.
It's the nice part of New York. They're getting out of the city and going to the nice outdoorsy part of New York. And he talks about watching the Knicks play that weekend. So you're like,
The nice part of New York? Jersey. That's right. That better bagels.
hey, you would know. I don't know. But But yeah, it's just it was just this little detail that I caught the first time I watched it, and I was like, bullshit. Bullshit.
Ain't no way you're watching the Knicks right now.
Absolutely not. They should have said like the fucking Yankees or the Mets or something.
Next up, Luke just gassing up Percy the whole time.
Yes.
I love that you wrote this because it's like a 12-year-old.
It is. Because that's just the thought that I had. Like, I just mean, like, how could I make my own self laugh whenever we read this?
Yeah. And I mean, he did.
He literally is like, no, and if you realize it at the very end, why he's doing this is just so he can recruit him.
Yeah.
But also, I wonder if even at this point that Luke knows that he's a big 3 kid.
Did I even say what the fuck we were talking about today?
I don't know. Percy Jackson. You said baby gods.
I did say, yeah, okay.
I don't think you actually said the words Percy Jackson.
I did not. I said baby gods.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief.
The lightning thief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one
It's a long name. I don't blame you for not saying it.
Well, I didn't even say Percy Jackson as the main
Most people
problem.
just call it Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the whole name.
Yeah. What's the name of the series and then the book title? It's the whole thing.
And next up, the consensus song works.
Yeah.
I don't remember the consensus song whatsoever. I feel like
it's Grover just like singing. It's very awkward when he first sings it, and then Percy sings it whenever Grover and Annabeth
It's like
are
one of
arguing.
those
It's
songs
funny.
you learn while being homeschooled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what happens when you're, a fawn, a satyr.
In a cult.
Well, no, had probably been in school for like 30 years.
Yeah, because they live a long time.
He lives a long time. He's a kid, but he was also like, he's been at least probably like 10 because he was with Luke and Thalia. He was their guide, and it's implied that he went to school with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medusa as a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
It does make you feel for her.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
just a nice little twist. You're like, oh.
It is not an uncommon thing in Greek mythology
No, it's really not.
because of our current standards of sympathy in like this day and age. Because back then it was like, Zeus was going around having sex with everybody, having babies, but he has a wife named Hera.
Yeah.
And she's pissed at him, but she still puts up with it. And she's just like being a jerk to everybody because of it. And she's the one at fault, not Zeus. And that's how it kind of plays out in Greek mythology. Medusa's the same way. That story was actually from mythology. Yeah. And then the gods decided, instead of punishing the person at fault for the situation, punished her by turning into her snaky lady.
Because the gods are cunts.
They are cunts.
That's the whole point of this whole series of Percy Jackson is they suck.
There's a point.
I mean, we kind of knew that.
Where's it? I swear I put it on here. Luke isn't wrong. Luke isn't wrong.
Oh, that's what that's about.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's not fucking wrong.
No.
They're shitty. Fuck the gods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I feel like that's a running theme in everything about Greek mythology, period. I mean, there's a whole fucking video game series called God of War that's just the gods suck.
Well,
and
I
then
mean-
you go to a different realm where the gods still suck.
I mean, the way that the Greeks viewed deities and stuff like that was if you didn't pay homage to them, they would start like
Bad things would happen.
doing bad things to you, like forcing bad things to happen to you and everyone around you and your whole town, your whole country. So if you didn't do all the right things, they just started getting all like temper tantrumy.
Which makes sense because they're
Yeah.
gods and they think which they are,
They're above it.
people.
Yeah. I mean, like maybe physically above them because
Because
the
Olympus.
firmament.
Next up, Athena is so fucking petty.
Yeah. This is in combination of the Medusa and when they first get to the arch.
Yeah.
And she's
where-
like, Echidna's like, oh yeah, I can just fucking come in here and kill you.
yeah.
You're like, Athena, what the fuck? No.
Especially because isn't the girl
Annabeth.
Yeah, and she's Athena's kid.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
But, somehow sending Medusa's head to Olympus offended her.
The gods. Well,
I don't know.
yeah. It's,
So she's like, you'll die.
you.
This is why they're shitty. They're like, oh, you've offended me. You're dead.
I understood the offense whenever I saw him do it. I
didn't
was like, well,
say-
that's a stupid idea.
Hey, I didn't say it wasn't offensive. I just said it just escalated. Like, I'm like, really? You go
Yeah.
from offended to dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, like be a normal parent. And
Yeah.
Just beat the shit out of your kid.
Yeah. Smote them a little
Let's
bit.
be honest. How many kids do you think Athena has had?
Too
Oh,
many.
there's like, you know.
Yeah, how many
A
kids do you think
bajillion.
Poseidon has had, or Ares, or whatever?
A lot.
A lot in this universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, after like number 483.
That's what's implied, though. Is like they're
like,
disposable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like after number 483, do
actually
you keep caring about them? Do you have that capacity?
Yeah, that's what's implied. That most of the gods do not care about their
again,
kids.
that's very much like
Yeah.
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
It's that
Which
they've been
Demigods
around
are-
for so long, they have trouble caring anymore because the Greeks
Demigods
really
are a dime a dozen.
it is literally Omni-Man with Mark.
Yeah.
Since we
Yeah.
just got done talking about Invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what's another 15 years?
Yeah. Yeah. What's another 15,000 years? Yeah.
Next up, is that really a chimera or is it more like a manticore?
It looks like a manticore.
It looks-
It's
it
not
looks
a
like
chimera.
manticore. But chimera is not.
I know.
Chimera is a name
It is.
It's not
for a
locked
creature
to-
that has a very specific look about it.
Yeah.
It's like Hydra is a name. It's not a type of creature. It's a name. It's like Medusa. So you go to other games and you're killing multiple Medusas. Well, that Medusa was the name.
Yeah.
Chimera is the name. So I'm not sure if Manticore is the name because I really base this from Babylonian mythology, but Chimera is definitely supposed to be a name, and they did not portray it like Chimera is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
Is Edge actually the second best wrestler turned actor?
Yeah.
Who are you naming as first?
Batista, by and far, is the best actor turned wrestler. A wrestler turned actor. Who would you say?
Well,
If you're
I'm
not gonna agree.
trying to think because like
it's not John Cena.
no, it's not John Cena or The Rock. I agree and disagree. I feel like Edge and Batista are both kind of like on the same. Just Edge has not had the spotlight.
Fair
that
enough.
Batista has because Batista's played very big roles.
Yeah.
But
Edge also still wrestles, so there is that.
I would say about Bautista and then like Edge and Andre the Giant. So
yeah,
that's where I would put them about even at second. I again, like you, I really like Bautista.
I mean I do too. I just feel like maybe I haven't seen him in enough stuff besides Guardians.
Yeah, you gotta go watch.
Isn't that enough?
Blade Runner. What else is he in? He's in Spectre.
And I think I've seen Edge in more things.
I know you
just
have
not
because you've
bigger
watched
pro-
Vikings.
Yeah. And there was something else he was
Bautista's
into.
almost always good
Yeah.
to watch, though.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him in anything where I was like, well, he sucks.
What's the Stuber?
Oh,
Wait, I don't think he sucked. That movie just sucks.
the movie sucks. I don't think it was.
The one
his
with Kamal, Nam Johnny.
Yeah, and he was in
What, Spy? Not is it Spy?
it's not Spy.
The one with
but-
the little girl.
Oh, I don't
Is
know.
it I Spy? I thought.
I'm thinking of a completely different one than you
Okay.
are. Wasn't he in the one what is it called? It's a Knives Out.
Yes.
Yes.
The
He was
Glass
in
Onion
Glass Onion, yeah.
Yeah. And he did well in that, but
Oh,
it feels like he's been a little typecast into
See, that's how I know you haven't, because he's played like a bajillion different types.
and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is I'm thinking the ones that I've seen.
He's
have
the
just
one
been-
that's not been typecast. He's done like everything. From
Gotcha.
comedy to serious to dramatic.
maybe I just haven't seen any of the serious shit or the dramatic
I
shit.
don't think I've seen anything else. Was this the Edge's breakout thing?
Really, he was on Vikings.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He was Kettle.
he's been in a couple of like shitty action movies.
Yeah,
Like
he really hasn't been.
Money, was it Money Plane? Seen that?
He's one that I almost never recognize for some reason.
Well, he has gone through many
Changes.
changes. He has long hair, then he has short hair, then he has medium hair.
Big
He
ass
was,
beard.
he was good in this.
He's
He was
good,
good in Percy Jackson. If he can keep that quality up,
Yeah.
he's a contender for second.
Yep. Next up, Annabeth with the sass to gods is either bold or stupid.
Or both.
Or
both.
no
It's-
Lostos. It's both.
It's both.
It's bold. They're bold. It's both. Because, I mean, you can be both. Yeah. You can be bold and stupid.
She is just sassing gods left and right, though. She's just like, hey, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you.
What do you say fuck me for?
What do you say fuck me for? Yeah.
Percy's self-sacrifice can inspire even the gods to be better.
Yeah.
Because that's Hephaestus, right?
Yes.
That he sacrifices himself in the chair and then lets him free.
Doubt. There's so many other people throughout history that have done self-sacrifice to a higher extent than he has. Doubt.
Here's the question.
Screw that.
Were they demigods?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're usually almost always
Perseus?
Okay.
Yeah, which is halfway what this is based off of. Halfway.
Well, he is literally named Perseus.
Well, I know, but I mean, the story is based off of Perseus' story from mythology. Assuming that is also, he's just named after the actual person in the world, in this universe, that was Perseus, that did those things with the Kraken and the things. So, they weren't any better after Perseus. No. So, no, Hephaestus is full of shit.
I just think
he's literally
Hephaestus
the most
is the most
unimpressive deity.
Yeah.
Well, he's the one that would be the most easily swayed, I feel like. Hephaestus, like he's the most grounded.
Maybe.
And like he doesn't have a larger ego because it's been beaten out of him and cucked out of him.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Next up, Hermes cares, but he answers to the big guy.
Zeus.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like I can help a little bit.
Which is kind of all the gods are like,
we can help a little bit.
So Hermes is just saying, essentially, I'm a bitch.
Yes. Correct.
Listen, I 100% knew that's what you were going to say. Still made me laugh. I was like, he's going to say Hermes is a bitch.
But the fact that he cares doesn't change anything about the character. He still makes him shitty.
Yeah.
Makes Luke's anger towards him all the more.
He cares, but he never acts on it. That's almost worse than never caring at all.
It is. Yeah. It's literally like you care, but not enough.
Why don't you just stop caring and then move on? Yeah. Then we can hate you in peace.
Yeah.
Power of friendship protects your memory.
Yeah.
I guess I don't remember. Well, because they were together and that's why they didn't.
Power of friendship protects your memory.
Yeah. That was stupid. But,
it was stupid.
I mean,
that's also, I don't think that's exactly how it works in the book. I can't remember. I haven't read it in probably 15 years. But it's something close to that. But
it was interesting, to say the least. Death as Krusty? Is that what that says?
That's what they call him. It's like Crustius? I forget, but it's Krusty. They call him Krusty. He says, call me Krusty.
Okay. Also played, I'm going to butcher that one too, Charon. And Ferryman in the movie.
Yeah.
I guess I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I'm going to be honest with you.
Death from Supernatural.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Charon, you know the guy with the boat?
Yeah.
With the paddle going down sticks?
Yeah.
It was the death part that threw me off because I was thinking of something. Nope. I guess I was thinking of Hades.
I don't know.
Although he's not. I love that meme that's like, Hades, I do not control the die.
Yeah. I just control the pass out.
Yeah. But everybody associates him with that. I gotcha. Cerberus just wants his chew toy and some scratches.
Yeah, he's just a big lovable pup.
Isn't that kind of like the trope every time you see Cerberus or a Cerberus
That's because
style?
it is the trope originated in Greek mythology. Yeah. He's like really easy to pacify if you know how to do it. Yeah. It's just that you have to know how to do it.
I also always think of Harry Potter.
Yeah, Fluffy, just play some music.
Same thing.
Yeah, just play some music, go straight to sleep.
They're all different. They just got their little quirks. Yeah.
At what point did you suspect Luke? I feel like that's not a fair question because I guess this is probably directed more at me because I've never read the book or really watched the movie.
I don't know if Ethan. Have you read the books, Ethan?
No.
It's more like, at what point were you like, Luke's fucking something's off about Luke before like
Missouri?
So like
yeah.
Really? I felt like something
the diner
was off the whole time.
It was the diner.
Yeah. I mean, I can't answer the question fairly because I've known the entire time.
Yeah.
But I thought they did a very good job of hiding it.
It was a question on who it was
Yeah.
before the diner. Once the diner hit, I was like, it's
Luke.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Which also Missouri, right? We're from Missouri. And this is supposed to be set in what month?
At this point, it would be June still, yeah.
Okay. And so they're walking through the middle of Missouri, assuming down I-70,
I'm sure.
because they're heading out of St. Louis.
That'd be 270,
West.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, they were.
Well, no, once you get out of St. Louis, it's 70. Yeah. So
Well, I'm saying if they're heading west.
if they're heading west, it's got to be 70 or some other side highway, right? You do not walk through rural Missouri in the middle of summer with long sleeves on, and it'd be like slightly overcast and kind of breezy.
No,
and then you're
you-
like happy about it.
Nah.
No, you're like throwing your clothes away.
Yeah, you go outside in Missouri in the summer and you're just like, this is stupid. Why do people live here?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why do people live here? These people are so stupid, and you don't even think about yourself because you're having a heat stroke. Yeah. So, no, it bothered me so bad.
That didn't bother me. That's just like,
It's a design choice, but it was a stupid design
It
choice.
was. It looked like they had decided to film it in the beginning of March
probably.
and I'm sure they did. and that's-
in Missouri.
Well, it probably would have been, see, it came out. Yeah, probably was in March. February,
More like
March.
the end of March because the
I
trees
doubt,
were all
I
blooming.
doubt
and
they even
stuff.
filmed in Missouri outside of the
It
side
kind
of the
of
arch.
all the like foliage and stuff and the landscape. It really did sort of look like Missouri a little bit, but it certainly was not June.
No.
Yeah, but to be fair, Missouri feels like a very generic
Yeah,
place.
we are
It
literally
is.
So
just
you
like
could find that anywhere.
the Midwest.
You could. Or you just not have to cut the grass down and
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, young Percy is kind of a shitty kid.
He is.
I mean, yeah.
He is. He's I was like, I hate in this moment when he's in the car and he's being a shithead to his mom. I'm like, hey, cut your mom some slack, you fuck. And that's like, if I was a kid, I would probably be on his side. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, hey, quit being such a shithead.
Yeah. It's
You
easy to look.
fucking asshole.
It's easy to look
Yeah.
from.
Your perspective changes. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
your mom's got some shit to deal with, bud. Cut her some slack.
And then that probably makes you think back to when you were a kid.
Yeah, you're like,
And
I was a terrible person.
yeah. Because, like,
maybe you were. I wasn't.
a lot of times parents don't tell their kids what's going on.
Yeah.
So then the kids are even shittier, too. And that's kind of what this is. I mean, it's a story of they didn't tell, hey, you're a demigod at the age of 3, which makes sense. I mean, I don't think you'd tell a kid that.
Kid would freak the fuck out. They'd be like,
It would go one of two ways. They would either become the most narcissistic asshole ever, or they wouldn't believe him.
yeah.
Vaulted glass vibes from Hades Palace.
It just looks like vaulted glass.
Yeah, it
it
does.
does. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, the second time through, I'm like, this looks just like the vault of glass.
Where's the Vex?
Yeah, I was like, I'm waiting for waiting for like
a big Minotaur comes out of nowhere.
Minotaur to
Yeah.
fucking pop out of
Shoot
nowhere.
it in the chest for
Or a-
7
or a
minutes.
Hobgoblin.
I don't have enough bullets.
Stop fucking teleporting.
Vault of Glass is from Destiny,
Destiny.
1.
Yes, it is a raid from Destiny 1.
Yeah. It was the raid from Destiny 1.
It was the very first raid you could do. Hades not being the big bad evil guy
Yeah.
is a great trope subversion.
Yeah.
It's actually, this trope subversion is a trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even in Greek mythology, Hades wasn't the bad
But
guy.
for like a kid's book, it'd been so easy just to make Hades the bad guy.
Yeah.
So easy.
I think the only depiction of Hades I've seen where he was the bad guy
Hercules.
was Hercules,
Hercules.
the cartoon.
yeah.
fair enough.
Which was fantastic.
Like to be fair, this Hades not a good guy, not
No.
a good guy.
No.
But he's not the villain of this story at this
Right.
particular moment.
And I think that's what they try to get the point
Yeah.
across
Like-
is that none of the gods are the good guys.
Yeah, but even like at this point, Hades is still kind of like it's like Hades, Ares, they're like way down here.
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of like they're
Well, and like Ares is definitely,
they can be varying degrees of okay
I mean,
to shitty. But the rest of them are
Ares kind of explains it. He's like, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We're dicks, essentially.
we're family, kid.
We're family. Sally and Poseidon diner scene was
Yes.
very cute.
I just thought it was like a very well acted scene between them. I like the
Yeah.
cuts between that and then him, like, you can see, like, Poseidon actually does care about Percy, and that may be a consequence of not having had a kid in a while. As it says, it's like he hasn't had a kid in at least 60 years.
Yeah, because they weren't allowed to.
Weren't allowed to, because their kids are apparently just
Stronger than the rest.
yeah,
They're
and
just
also
better.
and apparently their last set were terrible. That's that's like the next point,
Yeah.
or one of the next points. So he actually does seem to care more than the other gods. If there is a good god out of this, it is
In this
definitely
particular
supposed
story,
to be
yeah.
Poseidon.
Yeah.
In this particular story, for
Yes.
sure. Next up, Luke grooming Percy from the moment we met.
We kind of talked about that already.
Kind of talked about that already. And he did. I mean,
very much. You're like, oh yeah, he's been molding you since the beginning to be his right hand man,
/ best friend.
best friend.
Besto friendo.
Besto friendo.
Next up, Ares versus Percy in a forever war.
Because this is what happens. They hate each other for the rest of the entire series.
Yeah, because Ares is
Yeah.
a dick, and he's like, I let a fucking kid beat me.
Well, not even that. So, like, this, I won't say this is necessarily spoilers, but in the next series, there's a series after Percy Jackson. It's called The Heroes of Olympus, where they go fight. They meet the Roman counterparts of these gods.
Okay.
And the first time they meet Mars, Mars is just like, I don't like you, and I don't know why. Because they don't remember what
happened.
Yeah, but he just knows instinctually on a level. He's like, I don't fucking like you.
I love
Percy's like, yeah, me and your Greek counterpart don't get along. He's like,
That's great.
yes.
Next up, implied that Hitler, FDR, Stalin, and other World War II leaders were children of the big three. I guess I missed that entirely.
It's very subtle. They just basically say, like, like it's their children fought or caused World War II to happen. So it's like, yeah. Don't know which ones.
Specifically,
Yeah.
but you could assume it's the...
Some grouping of those.
Yeah. R.I.P. Lance Reddick.
Yeah. Because this is like when he first appears and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Super sad.
sad.
This is like one of
Sad.
the first things he's been in since... Or that's released since
Yeah.
he's died,
It's also
right?
be like one of the last things he's in.
Oh, yeah.
One of, not the last, but one of the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
things.
Oh, there's something else coming out.
Was he in the Continental?
I don't remember.
Poseidon and Zeus.
They just, they're talking Greek at each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, they don't like each other, but they're brothers. You're like, ugh.
Which is kind of the gist of the whole Greek mythology
Yeah,
thing.
but also Zeus can't ever admit defeat. He's like, after we declare that the war is over and I have won.
Yeah.
And Poseidon's like, fucking, all right,
Sure.
you fuckhead. Jeez.
Father-son time.
Yeah.
They didn't really even get to spend that much
No,
time.
it's like 30 seconds, but it's just
They
like
didn't even
it's.
play catch.
with
Well, they
Medusa's
just-
head.
Yeah.
But it also because it's like super awkward because Percy's just like calling him sir and everything, and you're just like
Which is like the first god that he's essentially been like
respectful
to.
Like,
Because he did ship Medusa's
yeah.
head.
You're like, oh.
Yeah.
You just feel for Percy. You're like, man, why does it have to be this way?
Yeah. We kind of talked about it. Luke isn't wrong.
He ain't wrong.
With,
This is when he goes on his big diatribe back at Camp Half Blood.
yeah.
When he's opening the portal and he's like, they fucking suck. Why do you even
Everybody's-
like them?
Everybody sucks. Why do you even like your dad? You met him 5 minutes ago.
Whoop did he fucking do?
He's still a cunt.
He's still a cunt.
And then I didn't even see this part because Disney credits take 7.5
It
years.
is. I had to make sure it was actually in there because it's like the last thing that happens in the book.
Yeah.
Is that Poseidon mails the head to Sally, and then she uses the fucking head on Gabe, makes him a statue, and then sells him. Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
I did
fucked
not
up.
see
Yeah.
that
That's
whatsoever.
befitting.
yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
because Gabe sucks.
Yeah, he
Gabe
does.
Do you know why that she's with Gabe?
No,
I don't know if they explained it in the show very well. If
they did.
They don't.
It's because he stinks. He stinks so bad he covers up Percy being a demigod to monsters. Yeah,
Makes sense. He does just sit there and
Gabe
not-
sucks.
yeah,
Everyone hates Gabe.
yeah.
Gabe was the BBEG of season 1.
He's just annoying.
for a little bit.
He's just a dick.
And then
No one likes him.
real
no one
dick.
likes him.
Yeah, he's awful.
So there's one point on here that I seen that I'm going to talk about
Sure.
for a brief second. Each episode, and I'm talking about this because I've seen 2 different shows that have had the same budget essentially.
Sure.
Each episode was $15 million was the budget.
So what is this? 120 million
Roughly.
totally.
Yeah.
And they are like 45-minute episodes with some of them being 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You take out credits, most of them are like the intro and credits, most of them are 30 minutes because the credits are fucking 8.5 years long. Avatar, The Last Airbender, was also 15 million for each episode.
Sure.
So it pretty well had the exact same budget.
Mm-hmm.
And Avatar did so much more with it. I've not watched a lot of Avatar, like a lot of the show because I've just started it, but the CGI looks so much better. These are just kids fucking walking around for the majority of it.
Yeah, I don't-
Some CGI here and
I'm
there,
assuming-
but mostly not much.
I'm assuming most of the CGI comes in the back half of the season.
I would assume.
Like once they get to like the underworld and going to Olympus, that's all like CGI and all that stuff.
I mean, like every time they met like a monster, like you got
Yeah.
Medusa, the Chimera.
I definitely like see like it was definitely stretched further on Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having watched the entire thing.
I only brought it up
Again.
because several videos that I seen were like, Disney's just a fucking laundromat. Like they're just money laundering, and that's how they're getting away with it.
This
'Cause-
isn't even like the worst offender of it.
No, but it's definitely doesn't look as great. So next up, the Rotten Tomatoes, 92% tomato meter with 60 reviews, and an 80% audience score with 2,500 plus reviews. Not bad.
No.
Critics really like it, which is interesting.
Oh, again, we haven't even touched on the fact that the movie that came out in
Oh yeah,
the
the
early
movie,
teens
it sucked.
is terrible. The only redeeming quality that movie has is Alexandra Daddario as the only redeeming.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's it.
I'll be honest, I have never watched that movie in entirety.
Yeah.
Back when you had TV before streaming services, I would watch it when it came on, and then as soon as commercial breaks happened, I switched to a different show, and then I just never went back. That's how that
That's a
happened
pretty
for
good
me.
description of the quality of the show.
And we don't
Of the
speak of
movie.
the second movie because it's somehow even worse than the first
I
one.
guess I didn't know there was a second.
Oh,
movie, but-
yeah, because they tried to fit 4 books worth of shit into one movie. 'Cause-
so is
Since
this
that's gonna work? Why?
well, they basically knew
I
that
haven't watched it. So.
they basically knew that they were not going to get to make a third one.
so they,
So they
were
wanted to
like,
have
"Cram
some
it."
sort of resolution. So they basically took the plots of book 2 and book 5 and put them together.
So here's my question on the show: how many? Is this just like the first book?
First book.
Okay,
That is the first book.
so we'll probably get.
Well, I mean, as long as
I know we're getting season 2 because they've
Yeah.
already announced that. Ideally, they're
that'll be
probably going to
interesting.
try to stretch it to 5 and
Yeah.
do a book per season. Now the IMDb. So season 1 was a 7.2 overall.
Yep.
Episode 1 was a 7.4 out of 10. I was actually going to look to see if that was still the same. Yeah, still the same.
Probably pretty close.
And episode 2 was a 7.6, or is a 7.6. And episode 3, which is where you meet Medusa, is a 7.5. Episode 4, which is walking through St. Louis, is a 7.3. Episode 5 is the Hephaestus deal, is a 7.6. And episode 6, which is Hermes, which we didn't talk about who Hermes was.
Oh, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Felt like a weird fit to me. Not bad. Not that he did bad. It just felt weird. I don't know why it did, but episode 6 is a 6.8. I wonder if that's because of Power of Friendship. I'm going to look at that review here in a second.
No, so episode 6 is the.
Is that not the Power of Friendship?
No.
Doesn't it end on the Power of Friendship?
Oh, it is. Never mind. You're right. It is.
Episode 7 is a 7.6, which is where they finally get down and talk to Hades. And episode 8 is a 7.9. So if
Everything
they-
went down like 0.1.
Yeah.
Which
They either stayed the same or went down 0.1.
close enough.
Understandable. Or to me, it's understandable. And actually, the overall went down to 7.1, and it now has 32,000 reviews. So
Woo.
now we get to give R ratings. Jarrett.
7.5.
See, and now I fucking hate you. But see, now I'm curious if you're doing a 7.5 as like an actual 7.5 or if you're back on your bullshit
No.
if I don't do the weird.
No, that's just like literally like it was just like right there.
Yeah. I give it a flat 7. Ethan?
7.49.
Hey.
I don't like that we're adding a second. Just round up, goddammit. It's 7.5.
It's 7.5.
You just wait.
It's
I'm
not-
Gonna, I'm gonna get to the thousands.
It's good. I think it's good for. I think it'd be good for like teenagers.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not really marketed towards me.
No.
Yeah.
The only reason I even like really wanted to watch it is because I read the books.
Right.
And I think
Had I not
that's
read the books, I would be like, whatever.
and I think that's a majority of people that have probably watched it, besides younger people that are wanting to resonate with characters and yada yada yada.
Don't gesture towards me when you mention younger people.
I didn't mean it toward you. I'm just gesturing. I talk with my hands. We're not a video podcast, but I move my hands all the time.
He moves his hands.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. It's certainly an acceptable.
Yeah, it's
That's the exact word I would use for it. It's acceptable. I've watched
Hey,
much worse.
the
Rebel May-
bar was here. We're up like here now.
Yeah.
Like we're good. We're coasting.
Yeah.
They could do 5 seasons of this right here at this level. I'd be perfectly happy with it. I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good
if you
time.
walk out
That
saying
was acceptable.
it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you would say. I mean, that's what it is. It's acceptable. It's not like extraordinarily good.
It's nothing to write home about.
I mean, I
but
don't
it's-
expect the Percy Jackson books to translate.
I'll tell you this much: the books aren't that great either.
No.
They're not supposed to be. They're kids' books.
Yeah. All right. Well, that will wrap up the Percy Jackson episode. We appreciate you guys listening. Use the link in the description of this video, and you can find links to the Discord and Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all the good stuff. And you can chat with us more there.
If
We'll
you
catch
want.
you on the next one.
You don't have to.
Deuce.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have
Yeah,
to.
please don't. All right.